Welcome to Tinatalks podcast produced by the Human Rights Development Organization. In this channel, we are going to talk about the reality of human rights. Ating alamin ang iba't ibang karanasan na maaaring naaayon o hindi naaayon sa karapatan ng bawat indibidwal. Samahan niyo ako at sabay-sabay tayong matuto kung ano nga ba ang karapat-dapat sa bawat isa sa atin.
So that means that education isn't just in the classroom anymore. Meaning, hindi na lang tayo ngayon natututo inside the classroom. To all Gen Z viewers out there, let me ask you, bakit nga ba mas relatable sa inyo ang 3-minute video compared sa isang buong lecture? Alright, and welcome back to Tinatalks podcast, where we make human rights relatable and very realistic. Hindi naman siya actually boring pag-aralan ang human rights. And I know in college, meron lang part ng curriculum where you study about human rights. I guess first year or second year college. Human rights, it's not something about you study. It's because it's just part of your college years. Gamit mo lang siya maybe kapag ikaw ay naging politician. No, human rights is part of your life. Yes, that is the reality of human rights. That's why everybody can really relate when we talk about human rights. And for today's episode, we are going to dive into a topic that's about learning or talks about learning. Reshaping our learning in today's generation. And andyan ang pag-rise ng social media platforms. Yes, social media platforms as a go-to information ng lahat ng mga nag-aaral ngayon. High school man yan, college man yan, even mga toddlers or yung mga preschool. Well, wala pa naman akong anak na nag-aaral pa talaga as of now, but yung aking eldest son ay meron siyang mild autism. So, I need to do a lot of research. And yes, I admit, I use sometimes social media platforms to learn how to handle situations, different kind of situations kapag meron kang anak na may autism. I use it for learning also para malaman yung mga experiences ng other mothers na meron ding special needs yung kanilang mga anak. Nowadays, ginagamit talaga yung social media as a search engine. I know maraming mga gustong matuto sa inyo paano magluto ng ganito and all, ganyan. Paano gumawa ng CV, paano magawa ng slide presentation, paano maging mas entertaining in inyong mga school presentations and other projects na sinasubmit, other requirements. I know marami sa inyo ang gumagamit ng social media, specifically TikTok as your search engine and as an avenue to learn. And why not? Okay lang naman yon. But in today's episode of Tinatalks, I will be sharing with you also some reminders, and also I will be giving you some thoughts on how to use those platforms ng mas efficient and mas effective at mas makakatulong sa inyo, mas makaka-benefit kayo as you learn from those social media platforms. But before that, I want to share with you a study or survey. According to 2024 Adobe report, 64% ng Gen Z and 49% of millennials ay gumagamit ng TikTok as a search engine. And survey by Her Campus found that 74% of Gen Z internet users utilize TikTok for search, with 51% preferring it over Google, primarily due to its short form video format. So, ayan, marami ng studies ang lumabas, marami ng surveys na mas ginagamit na talaga ngayon ang social media, again, particularly TikTok, to do their research para sa mga bagay-bagay na gusto nilang malaman. But during my time naman, millennial era, during my college days, may Google naman na. But hindi siya ganun pa ang ginagamit. Talagang nandun pa kami sa manual book. Meron bang library na tinatawag? Hindi pa ganon karami yung mga sources na makikita natin sa Google kapag nag-research ka doon. 'Di ba? Lalo pat pag third year, fourth year college, may mga research subject na tayo, may mga thesis na tayo. Maybe during that time, wala pa masyadong nag-upload ng mga information from textbooks, 'di ba? Hindi pa nila dinidigitalize ang lahat ng mga libro before as a different sources of information para sa lahat ng mga nag-aaral. So that means that education isn't just in the classroom anymore. Meaning, hindi na lang tayo ngayon natututo inside the classroom. Like, when we are in our social media or nasa cellphone tayo, which is, again, I do believe that so many also studies shows that mas maraming nire-render na time ang mga tao sa social media or sa cellphone nila. And what they're doing is browsing, browsing, and browsing. Ano man yan, YouTube man yan, Facebook man yan, Instagram man yan, or TikTok. Alam naman natin na napakadaming nagte-trending sa TikTok. It's because mas marami na rin gumagamit ng TikTok. In today's generation, education isn't just inside the classroom anymore, meaning we can also learn from social media platforms. So if that's the case, do you think that everybody is learning equally? Like, papaano yung mga ibang walang internet connection? Papaano yung ibang ni walang cellphone? We know that here in the Philippines, marami pa rin talagang pamilyang mahihirap. Marami pa rin mga kabataang hindi nakakapag-aral even though i-enroll pa yan sa public schools. And that is one of our discussions today. Well, one of the benefits ng social media right now as a learning platform at the same time is nagdi-DIY na tayo. Kaya na nating mag-DIY pagdating sa pag-aaral natin. And it's good to know that there are a lot of experts nowadays ang pumapasok na rin bilang content creators. And it's good that they share their knowledge, their expertise, like sila Chinkitan and so many doctors, mga nurses, mga fitness coaches, and even teachers. Ginagamit na rin nila yung platform na to, yung social media platforms, to educate people, to share yung kanilang mga line of expertise na they have that authority. And of course, as a consumer ng mga information na binibigay nila sa atin, of course, we trust them. It's because of their titles. Not only that, because maraming content creators ngayon ay Gen Z. So, it's good to know na hindi lang sila user, hindi lang sila consumer ng mga information from these platforms, but at the same time, contributor din sila. Like, pwede nilang i-share kung ano yung mga naintindihan nila inside the classroom. They can also share their actual experiences as a student. Maybe, diba? As a student of what? Being a psychology student, being a criminology student, and nursing student. Ang ganda lang that this platform is being used as a consumer and at the same time as a contributor to provide information or to educate other people as well. To all Gen Z viewers out there, let me ask you, bakit nga ba mas relatable sa inyo ang 3-minute video compared sa isang buong lecture? Maybe because may entertainment na kasama. Number two, it's more natural. Mga generation ngayon, they are more visual. When you're inside kasi the classroom and then the teacher will do the lecture, sometimes you need to imagine pa kung ano yung sinasabi nila compared sa napapanood mo na at napapakinggan mo na at the same time. There's also part of creativity pagdating sa pag-i-edit also, which is yun naman yung effort that ginagawa din ng karamihan ng mga teachers ngayon, that they are giving their efforts to get the attention of their students. Parang ganun din yun sa social media. May tinatawag tayo na retention ng audience. Natatrack ng social media kung gaano katagal pinapanood yung video mo. Let's say, for example, you posted a 1-minute video and then the social media can actually check gaano siya katagal nanunood out of 1-minute video, gaano siya katagal nagsistay doon sa iyong video. I think that's also a challenge sa lahat ng mga nag-create ng content to provide information, and to those teachers na do their lectures, they need to make sure na ma-maintain nila yung attention sa kanila ng kanilang mga estudyante. And right now, i-relate naman natin ito sa Article 26 ng Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is the right to education. Like what I've shared earlier, I think my generation, millennials, one of the generations na naka-experience ng traditional schools, like traditional way of learning. We have this, yung sinasabi ko nga, may library pa kami, like we do research sa mga physical books, textbooks, activity books, and other sources of info. But now, in digital age, meron na tayong access sa knowledge. But we need to understand na not everyone can have access to internet. Not everyone have resources para magkaroon ng internet. Hindi lang, magkaiba kasi yon. Pwedeng you are living in a rural area wherein wala talagang internet connection. Or, pwede ka namang nakatira sa syudad, 'di ba? Nasa highly urbanized city ka. However, ikaw yung isa sa mga sinasabi nating nasa laylayan ng lipunan that you cannot really afford to pay for the internet connection. So, papaano yung mga taong yon? Maybe meron ka ngang free internet sa iyong lugar. I believe may mga malls ngayon that they give free access sa internet for a certain time. What if wala ka namang telepono or wala ka namang gadget like cellphone nga or laptop, di ba? Paano yung mga kabataan na gano'n? Paano yung mga mahihirap na wala silang access sa tatlong yun? Yes, mas easier na ngayon ang way of learning because marami na tayong options. It's really right there sa hand natin. I mean, you don't need to go to the library. You don't need na bumalik sa eskwelahan ninyo or mag-photocopy ng book or manghiram ng libro sa library. But it's all in your hands. All you have to do is to connect sa internet and do your research. But papaano yung mga mahihirap na estudyante that they cannot afford to have access in the digital way of learning? I remember one of my first episodes here in Tinatalks is I featured our library in Puerto Princesa City, Palawan, wherein number one, they give free Wi-Fi access. And if you don't have gadgets, meron silang mga desktop doon na pwede nyong gamitin. Pwede gamitin ng mga estudyante. Actually, not just students. Anyone who needs to do their research, pwede doon. So, they still have physical books. But at the same time, meron na dong mga computers, mga desktop para makapag-internet. It's good that government also see that need. So, I guess isa yun sa dapat na binibigyan ng attention when it comes to education ng mga kabataan ngayon. I remember nung nagturo ako during pandemic. So, it's pandemic and we can't do face-to-face. I do online classes. I really appreciate those students na kahit nasa bundok sila, nagko-connect sila sa mga piso wifi. But, the effort that our students or the young generations are putting just to finish their studies, I hope may support pa, may konting push pa na maitulong ang ating gobyerno because again, meron din akong mga students na hindi na lang tumuloy sa kanilang pag-aaral. It's because kahit cellphone, minsan hinihiram lang sa kapitbahay just to connect sa mga online classes namin. So yes, I guess kailangan talaga siya mabigyan ng attention right now that in today's digital era, not everyone are capable na magkaroon ng easy access sa mga learning platforms na to. Again, education is right, but if ang learning natin nowadays is nasa digital na, do you know na marami pa rin mga lugar dito sa atin, sa Pilipinas, ang walang internet access o mahirap ang access sa internet. Like, I believe Siargao, there are areas in Siargao na mahirap pa rin ang internet, in Bataan. And like here in Siquijor, marami pa rin talagang spots dito na walang internet connection. Even network nga kasi minsan hindi ka rin makapag-data kasi walang network. And yung mga areas na to, mga residential areas to, may mga nakatira dito. So for sure, may mga kabataan doon na nag-aaral. So those are examples ng mga location wherein may mga kabataan doon nag-aaral. But they don't have access to internet. And they are helpless kasi even means of transportation dito, kailangan talaga meron kang gagastusin para lang makapunta ka sa isang area na merong strong internet connection. So when we say education is right, however, ang way of learning right now is digital, ibig bang sabihin dapat ang wifi ay maging right na rin natin? You know what? I did some research and may mga bansang libre ang kanilang internet like Lithuania, Estonia, Ireland, United Kingdom, Croatia, Romania, Spain, at marami pang iba. So, if yung mga bansang yon kaya nilang maging libre ang internet, if that is one of the solution para magkaroon ng equal opportunity ang lahat to make their lives easier na makapag-aral. And of course, para makisabay sa season ngayon, sa generation ngayon, it's not actually trend Again, maganda nga that these social media are being used in a most effective way and most valuable way, 'di ba? Hindi lang siya puro entertainment. Hindi lang din siya ginagamit as fake news, but also it is being used to have these students magkaroon ng easier way to learn. Another survey here in the Philippines na in every 4 students, may isang estudyanteng walang internet access. So how can that student fulfill his or her dream during this generation without having access sa internet? Lagi nating naririnig that hindi lahat na nakikita sa social media ay totoo. Most especially if you are following someone that always imparts knowledge or imparts information, you need to make sure the credibility of the person and yung kanyang also mga sources. Actually, some of the experts, they still cite sources sa mga information na nakukuha nila, most especially if hindi sa kanila galing yun. Well, of course, to give credit naman talaga doon sa mga pinagkukunan natin na information. Yes, and speaking of that, yes, lalo na kung ikaw din ay gumagawa ka ng content like this one, don't forget to always give credit doon sa source ng information na pinagkunan mo and for your viewers to validate kung tama yung mga sinasabi mo. Magkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na media literacy. Like, Also, sa mga gamot, marami na ngayon na gumagamit ng AI, and then they will use a certain person na may credibility and may authority pagdating sa medicine, and then i-AI nila yon, gagawa nila na script, and then my God, gagamitin nila yung taong yon to promote their products. Like, sometimes talaga, hindi ko mapigilan yung sarili ko. Nagko-comment ako ng, that is AI. Yun yung mga bagay na kailangan maging aware tayo. Like, be mindful, be cautious also, and kailangan makisabay talaga tayo ngayon sa trend. Like, AI, ginagamit na yun ng lahat ng mga content creators. As much as possible, dapat marami kang mga sources of information. Don't just stick into one. Make sure to complete all your fact-checking, your validation bago ka maniwala doon sa information na kinukuha mo. Like what I've said, these social media platforms ay hindi lang ginagamit for us consumers para lang tayo ay manood, mag-subscribe, mag-participate and all. But you have also a power and also a right to also create content. Content that will inspire other people, content that will educate people, most importantly. You know, when we say naman education, hindi naman yan kinakailangan lahat nasa textbooks. There are a lot of learnings in our lives na natututunan natin siya through experience. So, don't be afraid to share that in social media. Most importantly, if you think that that experience will help someone, that experience will inspire someone, huwag kayong mahiyang mag-create ng content about it. There are a lot of ways to create content. Kung kayo man ay introvert at ayaw nyong magsalita sa camera like what I'm doing, pwede naman yun. There are a lot of creative ways on how are you going to create content just to share knowledge or information to other people. So to sum up this episode, again, my reminders, number 1 is to fact check what you learn through online. And number 2, share credible creators only or credible sources of information, and support campaigns for better digital access in schools. If you are very fortunate na meron kang internet access para sa iyong pag-aaral, thank those students na hindi kayang gawin yun. Kung ikaw, sometimes nahihirapan ka pa sa pag-aaral mo where you already have everything, your gadgets, your internet connection, just thank those students na mga nasa liblib na lugar that they don't have access on this internet, or even sa mga wala man sila sa liblib na lugar but they can't afford to buy this stuff para lang magkaroon ng internet connection. In this digital era, we know that learning is just everywhere. But again, let's not forget those people that they don't have this convenience of learning. So together, let's fight for making it accessible for everyone. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye!